The Greek's entire identity on court is built around arriving early to the ball, planting a dynamic base, and letting that tsunami-like forehand unfurl. So every hour he spends refining his reactions is an hour invested directly in the scoreline. Analysts have charted how often he opts to run around the backhand in the ad court and strike inside out to open space. When that move works, he controls the exchange in 4 shots or fewer, but it only works if his feet reset before contact. The statistics from his clay court surge in Monte Carlo, Madrid, and Rome show a 63-point edge in rallies capped at 4 strikes, precisely because those first explosive meters let him dictate from the baseline, not because he simply blasts the ball harder than everyone else. Immediate positional dominance is even more critical on quick courts, and Tsitsipas learned that painfully when Alex Michelsen hustled him out of the 2025 Australian Open. The Greek admitted his legs were slow, and the delay wrecked his serve +1 rhythm. The same pattern re-emerged in Halle 5 months later, confirming that agility is the non-negotiable link between strategy and results. That backhand's elegance hides the extra preparation it demands. A tennis abstract breakdown pointed out that the long kinetic chain of the one-hander leaves him slow to react against abrupt changes of direction, making him one of the most surface-sensitive players on tour. He compensates by sliding, hopping, and counterbalancing with his core, but the margin for error is slimmer on slick courts, so his daily agility blocks are effectively a buffer that buys those precious milliseconds. Inside the team, the need to sharpen movement has become a priority since Goran Ivanisevic took over. Tsitsipas said he had to consider certain things moving forward because the sport is growing in intensity, and physically it has never been like this, framing the partnership as a pledge to modernize the athletic side of his craft. Ivanisevic, fresh from polishing Novak Djokovic's grass dominance, publicly highlighted footwork and serve positioning as early pillars of their collaboration, insisting that the Greek's power is useless without lightning legs to back it up. The Croatian's blunt assessment resonates, for grass remains the terrain where Tsitsipas owns the lowest win percentage of his career. Reporters have traced that vulnerability to patterns that break down when he cannot reset his stance quickly enough to follow a flat bounce. Addressing it is, therefore, less about learning new swings than drilling explosive recovery steps so that the forehand and the adventurous net forays he loves can still flourish. Speedwork also counters the psychological criticism that flared when former fitness coach Christos Fiotakis exited the camp, lamenting that his players' priorities were not on getting to the top of the rankings. By broadcasting data-driven sprint benchmarks through the 2024-25 preseason, Tsitsipas signaled that sweat, not slogans, would answer doubts over commitment. Yet the workouts are not vanity. They solve tactical puzzles intrinsic to his style. Every time he chooses a surprise drop shot, he must disguise his intent until the last backswing moment and then thrust forward in case the opponent reaches the ball. That sudden dash demands elastic hips and a reactive first step. If the legs hesitate, what should be a crowd pleaser turns into an easy pass going the other way. Likewise, the scorching down-the-line forehand that punctuates so many highlight reels is available only if he can glide behind the baseline, load the outside leg, and explode through contact before the window closes. The numbers affirm this synergy between footwork and aggression. Infosys tracking shows his average forehand speed trails opponents by 2 miles per hour. Yet he leads the winner differential because his contact happens from balance positions generated by better court positioning. Mental freedom grows from that biomechanical safety net. When a player trusts his legs, imagination expands. Witness his comment that clay lets him impose my game by being aggressive because he has the luxury of time to arrange his body exactly as he wishes. On quicker turf, this temporal cushion vanishes, so the training arms him with self-belief that he can still command patterns rather than react to them. Comparisons with Djokovic reinforce the point. Tennis.com noted that today's prevailing style is built on balance, depth, and relentless coverage, virtues that neutralize shotmakers who cannot reset quickly enough. Tsitsipas aspires to be the hybrid, creative yet unbreakable, and that aspiration demands mobility benchmarks akin to the Serbs despite wielding a more flamboyant stroke package. His serve, recently praised by Mats Wilander for its ace production and clutch breakpoint defense, gains potency when the legs load explosively and channel energy upward without leakage. The same kinetic chain that propels him toward a wide slice also brings him back to cover the open court once the return comes back. So agility work directly amplifies service effectiveness. Such holistic improvement feeds confidence. During the 2024 clay swing, observers labeled his mindset and forehand big weapons because he moved into position early and struck without hesitation. Last season's revelation about the secret behind his forehand, making a precise connection rather than brute force, also hinges on rehearsed foot routines that allow an uninhibited upper body release. Agility training even shields him from off-court turbulence. When social media mocked a loss to Alex Michelsen in Halle, the whisper was that his legs looked heavy, not that his talent. Reinvesting in speed is therefore reputational as much as mechanical. Fans equate rapid movement with hunger, and Ivan Isaevic pushes sessions that grind until the Greek feels as lean in minute 100 as in minute 1. In private, Tsitsipas frames the work as future-proofing. The ball has never traveled faster, analytics give every peer the blueprint to attack, and shot tolerance throughout the top 100 climbs annually. He sees agility as the universal solvent that prevents his distinctive, risk-laden creativity from being crowded out by metronomic pace. As he told reporters, the game has shifted more towards a physical game, so the margins become smaller, so the legs must buy back the space for artistry. Ultimately, the purpose of his intense agility regime is not merely to add kilometers per hour to sprints, it is to restore authority to a playing style that thrives on seizing initiative. When Tsitsipas is early, he paints lines, drives volleys through open space, sprinkles in disguised drop shots, and feeds off the crowd. When he is late, spectators witness the opposite, a defensive slice, a pulled forehand, shoulders sagging. Training, therefore, functions as insurance against inertia, a daily reminder of who he believes he is on a tennis court.